So I just started going to every liquor store, every place I could, and asking about it. Like, oh, we haven't had a shipment. Oh, we haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. No, not this, not that. And then my dad was like, did you try a liquor store? I'm like, no, I just been going to Hy-Vee and Fairway. And
Yeah.
And he's like, go to a liquor store. And he went for me.
Yeah.
And I was in treatment. And he went, while I was in treatment, he went to a liquor store, to Cyclone Liquors, and he went before it opened. But the guy is like, he opened up the entryway. He's like, I can't let you in, but like, are you looking for something? You know, and I can help you find something if you're looking for
Right,
something or
yeah.
whatever. He's like, well, my son's looking for Busch Light Apple.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we're expecting a shipment on Friday or something. And then my dad gets out his card and he's like, great, here, call me when you get it. And he's like, well, all right, absolutely, absolutely. I went like a day later and like, Busch Light Apple, well, I will buy a case. I understand that first come first serves a thing, but I'd definitely buy a case if one is free or whatever. Like, yeah, sure, we'll give you a call.
Yeah.
And they gave me both a call, to my dad and myself, and I ran out of work. I was at work on a Friday, and Joe, we got a case for you right here if you want to come in. I'm like, yep. I'm just going to. I was making shit up at work where I was like, nope, I got to make the rounds or whatever.
How many of these have you had thus far?
3 or 4, not too
Okay.
bad. So I got a case, and then last Friday,
Okay.
the Hy-Vee had 12 packs, so I bought 2 12 packs. I'm like, sweet. Now they're all gone.
Am I going to love it?
I think you might like it. I mean, you're not a fan of beer, so that's one thing.
Not really.
But I tried.
But
like,
I mean, apple beer, that's got to be better, right?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I also don't drink regular Busch. But I just wanted it. It's novelty. It's novelty.
Well, should we do this? You already
Let's do it.
opened yours. It was
I
going to
did.
be a ceremonial thing, but
well, you can still do it. Like,
you fucked it.
uh-huh.
Ready?
Yeah.
There it is.
Bush.
I don't know why.
That's like the Olympic torch. It's not in your face.
It's better than regular Busch Light.
Yeah.
I would say.
It's like apple juice for adults.
Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, you put the straw in there.
Why the apple? Everything's been apple.
I don't know. Whoever,
Lately.
10 years ago, it was all cranberry all the time. Cran grape, cherry cran grape, or whatever.
Right.
But now Apple's kind of making its way into
I'm gonna lean forward
everything.
because I'm a professional.
So I don't know. I just wanted something novelty, something to just try, to say I tried it.
Right.
And then our buddy that's into like craft beer, Jim Gallagher, and he was like, Busch Light. I'm like, I know. He was so disappointed.
Did you push one on him?
I showed him the can, and
Nice.
he was like, nah.
Well, I know it may seem like it, but Busch Light is not a sponsor of our podcast.
But it's something good. I don't know. It's an okay drink.
I know, right? Should we address the elephants in the room?
Sure.
Well, there's one there, and then there's one,
Over there,
Yeah.
behind that camera.
we're doing it.
We're here.
We're not doing it live,
No,
but we're doing it.
we're getting there. That one's got a camera, right? We can.
It does.
That'd be
but
a tight
it's
shot.
Not,
That'd be
it's
a tight
not the. It wouldn't be.
That's not the same.
Nice. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We need to talk about. Let's see. Last time that we were together, we were about to watch Kevin Nealon.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
What'd you think?
It
So
was-
he did this thing on
Yeah.
rushtix.com.
That's right.
Sponsor?
If they want it.
We'll ask him. We'll ask him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a Zoom comedy
Right.
bit.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't help but to think, what was it like on his side? And he's like, nah, I can't hear you guys laugh. But he just
Yeah.
kind of kept going.
So I had gotten an email from them saying, well, and I'm excuse me. Yeah, that's why I don't drink beer. That's what it is.
You'll
Let me-
get used
Let
to
me
it.
wash that down.
Yeah. Here, I got a cigarette for you.
Thank you.
Said the cancer patient. Here you go.
Yeah, I got this email. Said, hey, thanks for getting your tickets for Kevin Nealon and Brad Paisley coming up. No, Brad Paisley was he was like helping him out and playing music for him and all of that. Kind of an opener.
He did funny
But,
songs.
yeah.
He didn't do his own, which I expect.
He did a parody of one of his.
Okay.
So that's good. She's a
First Cousins.
I don't know it. Yeah, he
Was a
did the
good
one
one.
about cousins and
And then he
stuff.
just kind of strummed it. Nationwide is on your side.
That was pretty good.
Like, yes.
He did. I want to say well over an hour. Nealon,
Yes,
Kevin
yes.
Nealon did,
Brad Paisley did 15 minutes. And I
Yep.
was looking at my phone.
and then they did about an hour Q&A.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
Yeah.
it was great.
And
that
they
they
were
would just
in-
respond to everybody in a chat,
Yeah.
like a chat format. Yeah,
And they were in the same room, same house.
yeah,
So Brad Paisley was like in the same room. He wasn't on camera yet,
Mm-hmm.
but he was in the living room clearly. So occasionally he would pipe in and like play
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
a lick on the guitar or whatever. But it went pretty well. But I don't know how they did. Like we could hear other people's laughter.
So
You know?
that's where I was going with this whole thing before I got distracted by your beauty. I got an email and said, "We noticed that you got your tickets. Thank you, yada yada. And would you be interested in being a part of the audience for him?" So naturally, you're thinking maybe it would be like a Zoom call where you could actually see people off to the side laughing and whatever. And they said,
Yeah.
no, don't worry about that. We're not going to see you. What we would do is tap into your audio. I thought, well, with you and I there, it's
Feels more full.
well, yeah, and we laugh at things and try to be vocal
Yeah.
about that. If I'm watching a live show or something, I will try harder to laugh out loud. LOL.
I'm
if
more
you
of
will.
an easy laugh. Though.
Yeah, but you were leaning in to the laughing quite a bit during it, and that's why I responded saying that yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and include us. But then I think it might have been that day I got the email saying wah, wah,
Hard
you didn't
pass.
get it.
Boo.
Yeah, it was sad. Don't I have a button for that? Where's that? That's not it.
Close.
Which one was it?
Yes.
I found it.
Green. It's green. There we go. Cricket's purple. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember any of that. This is our fancy Roadcaster
Yeah.
that we talked about for a long time.
A lot of money.
there was
there,
there was a lot of drama with this thing. Anyway,
but it worked.
so we watched Kevin Nealon. It was great. He did it from his house. Brad Paisley was also there. Funny guy.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Kevin Nealon's a funny guy, but I mean Brad Paisley was
yeah,
pretty funny.
He was pretty smart ass.
Yeah,
I
I enjoyed him. I like him more than I liked him before, and I didn't like him at all.
Yeah,
before.
I think that's kind of where I was at because I didn't know him as a person.
Right.
I just know I'm like I don't like country, and then I'm like, okay.
You knew the Nationwide jingle.
Yeah. It's like that's pretty funny. But yeah, and then he started off with just funny songs. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you got some points in my book.
Yep.
Okay, and then and then he did the Q&A, and he was just like making fun of Kevin, and like he's like, yeah, whatever, yeah, cool.
good.
So yeah, they had some good antics between
Yeah.
the two, but that was a good time. Yeah. So
Anyway, not that I would like record such a thing that
Why?
happened live. I would never do anything like that, but it just so happened that I had something recording the Q&A portion of it,
Yes.
the audio of it. So I wanted to play this for you. So the first thing that I have, well, I'm playing it for you. You were there, but I'm playing it
for America, thank
for
you
America,
for the world.
and that guy in Ireland
Hey.
that listens to us.
Yodeling. I don't know if
What?
they yodel.
Where am I going? Here we go. I don't. What happened there? It spiked.
What?
Weird. Anyway, so the first thing about the Q&A that I think we had typed in a couple things, and they were kind of scanning through messages.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I had sent, the first thing that they had responded to was about Chris Farley.
Yeah.
So I had sent something saying, "Hey, Kevin, tell us, a Farley story or something like that." We've heard a lot with his stand-up special, Adam Sandler. He did a whole song about Farley recently. Spade talks about him quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really heard Kevin say much.
Right.
And so this was what he said.
Chris Farley story. Chris Farley, we all knew Chris. He was so funny. I don't know that I have any stories, but I can tell you that.
Make one up.
All right, I'll make one up. No, this is a true story.
I'll make one.
Chris,
Make one
you know,
up.
I would always tell Chris, you got to take it down a notch because he was really kind of getting out of, getting a little big there. And so whenever I saw him after that, and he was like in the middle of telling a story, he'd see me over, over his shoulder. He goes, "What? Take it down a notch. Take it down a notch." And
Pretty good.
and I never broke up in a sketch except that Chippendale sketch he did. I almost
Were
lost.
you
it.
in that?
I was one of the judges.
Oh, it was great. It was that is. We have to show that to our kids. They need to see that one. Have you shown Gable?
I think he has
Brad
seen
Paisley.
We haven't
Yeah.
shown that to Huck and Jasper. They need to see it.
How'd you come up with those names?
Huck and Jasper
Yeah.
or Chris Farley?
Huck and Jasper.
Yeah, it was darts.
Yeah, that's funny.
You could kind of hear us
In the
background because I had all this shit here, and I was like, well, if we can't hear us in the actual audio itself, I may as well just mix in our remarks and laughter in the
Yeah,
background.
that's
So,
pretty fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. Where I don't know. I guess he just didn't really hang out much with. Farley.
Right.
I don't know. but-
Right.
Take it down.
Too much.
Okay.
What was your favorite part about Kevin Nealon?
Like he has simple jokes, and there was jokes where I think we had the same line of thinking. Because
Yeah.
he would set it up. I'm like, oh, I already know where he's going, and
Right.
then just boom.
Yeah, we have a similar type of comedy style.
Yeah, and so some of them I kind of expected the way he set it up, and then yeah, there were some good ones in there, like some that were dark but funny.
Yeah.
of like the guy who jumped out of a balloon and he broke the sound barrier, and if he didn't make it, they'd be like scooping up his body,
Yeah.
and then they'd be hearing. Just like, what's going on?
I like that.
It was simple.
good.
And then his closer was really funny, and I repeated that one to my mom at home, and she's like, "Oh my god!" So I'm like, "I know." It was just, it was
Well,
fun. It was simple. It was fun.
Then again in the Q&A. So throughout this thing, they allow you to tip
yeah,
the performers, and I'm guessing it's something that they do for all their virtual shows. I can't talk. Damn beer,
Right?
Beer bad.
and then they all it went to charity or whatever they kept saying
Was it?
or something.
I thought that in a separate thing, I saw them say that Kevin gets all of your tips.
Oh, okay.
Like
I could be-
not to say that it's anti-charity, but probably to say that people were worried that Rush Ticks was going to take the money, or however that works.
it's divided up.
I wonder how many people actually watched that thing.
I don't know, but in the
was
chat,
there was a lot of people in the chat.
there's about 377 people, which will
Yeah.
fill up the Funny Bone in Des Moines.
yeah.
About
Now, Funny Bone in Des Moines average ticket costs $38, $30.
it depends who you are, but yeah, that's about.
What if you're Pauly Shore?
If you're Pauly Shore, that
saw
one.
him there.
Well, that one's like they crank up the price because it's a what do you call it? Special engagement, which means they
Right.
only do like one performance versus someone who's there for a weekend,
Yeah.
or something like that. But yeah, you can get by with about $30.
Okay.
Some might be a little more if it's a special engagement, a bigger name.
Yeah.
might be like
Yeah.
50, or
True.
or VIP could be 60.
Yeah.
Or something, but like it's never, that's the fun thing about Funny Bone is it never breaks $100.
Yeah.
But
After your 2-drink minimum.
after you
usually
drink,
even.
then it's like
Yeah.
shit. Like
Well, yes. Anyway, there was a point to what I was
this
saying.
wasn't
What was it?
that expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So my ticket that I bought that you kind of snuck in under my coat into the club was $50. And I was wondering how many people paid the $50 versus the lower cost.
Because you
of
paid
things.
more to be in the meet and greet kind of
Yeah.
quote unquote meet
Yeah.
and greet. And if you add up, let's just say everyone paid $50. 350 of what? 377? Mm-hmm. Let's say.
And I
times-
wonder how many people didn't stick around for
That
the
would have been $18,000 ish and some change.
Joe, we're in the wrong business.
I know. We better make up some more funnies.
Make up some more.
Yes, I know.
Anyway, we were in the tip thing and earlier, so 2 times
Yeah.
that night Brad Paisley said my name,
Yes.
and he responded
That was
to my
impressive.
things. But the first time was I said that I wish that I could tip more, but I'm currently unemployed.
Yeah.
So, and that was after I had already tipped once,
Like $2.
So yeah, so then to be funny, I decided to tip $2, and this is what happened.
Well, what do you think, Brad? Have we like exhausted
I
the
think
party
we've
here?
answered enough questions, probably. Kevin, Conan, and Brad would be a fun show, too. That's true. That'd be fun.
You did great on
Conan
Kimmel
who?
the other night.
Conan who? I don't know who
You
he
guest
is.
hosted for Kimmel.
Lance Harding tipped $2.
Where do you get that kind of money?
I don't know. I don't even think they made $2
I think we
anymore.
got enough tips, don't you? I mean, just to pay for the Uber.
Oh, that's pretty good. Where do you get that kind of money?
I just thought people would enjoy that.
Then there was one more where they didn't say your name, but they read your comment.
What was it?
And it was, having not met you, Kevin, I can only assume that you are 5'5", and Brad Paisley is 3 foot. So Brad Paisley read that, and then they both went like, come on, It's just like,
It was fun.
Yeah.
I want to do more of those.
Yeah.
Maria Bamford's coming up.
that's right.
Brian Posehn is this weekend.
Yeah.
And he's funny.
He is.
I like him. He reminds me a little bit of, he's like if Judah Freelander and Stephen Wright had a baby.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like Brian Posehn is like, because he's got the Stephen Wright type voice
Yeah.
down. And then he's just kind of crazy.
He
Like
has a bit.
Judah.
I gotta find this bit because I remember seeing him on Comedy Central or whatever. But he has this bit of like, you know what? I'm just a huge metal fan. and
Yeah, they call
everything."
him Grandpa Metal now.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's like his nickname on the internet is
And,
Grandpa Metal.
Then he, what was it? He was basically saying, "I'm a huge metal fan, and I fucking love Weird Al. And now that I
yeah.
have kids, I don't know which one to teach the kids, the real one first or the Weird Al version."
That happened to me.
Like,
That's relatable.
It's that.
I told you the story about Sam and Weird Al, right?
no, maybe
No.
you did.
Well,
Refresh
you finish
me.
your story and I'll go.
Oh, and that's about it. But it's the same
well,
thing.
That was a wonderful story.
Same thing with like
But yeah,
Star Wars.
no, I totally get it because I introduced my son Sam to Weird Al. He's 7 now, and I figure what better way into it for him than Alapalooza, which has Jurassic Park on it, and he enjoyed the song. He thought it was funny, and it's got the bit in the song where he's like running around screaming and all of that stuff. But somewhere on that album, I forget what track number, there's Achy Breaky Song.
Oh boy.
And I don't know what it was about that song, but Sam decided that was his favorite on the whole album. And I gave him the CD instead of the tape so he can backtrack and whatever. And over, he would listen to that fucking
It's always the one you don't want. It's just like,
And then eventually, like I told it, I was trying to explain what parodies were, and that the original song existed somewhere, and that's where he got the tune from, and he just kind of made something funny to the tune of that song. And so one day it came where he wanted to listen to Achy Breaky Heart, and to his credit, it only happened one time. And we never went back to it. And then it was back to Weird Al again.
yeah. What do you think about the original?
Didn't do anything for him. Nope.
There we go.
But maybe that was because he was just so invested in Achy Breaky Song.
That could be it.
So I give it props to my son Sam for that.
That's funny. That's funny. I
But-
haven't heard that one.
It was a rough couple
It
weeks.
was a rough go. There you go.
There was a lot of Achy Breaky Song
Yeah.
being played in my house.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then he didn't want to stop listening to that album. So I had to like convince him to move on to another one. So the way in was Poodle Hat because it has a song about Spider-Man
Yes, that's right.
in there.
Sling
O-
us this.
Ode
yeah.
to a superhero.
Sling us the web. Use Spider-Man.
Yep.
That's a good
So
one. Yeah.
Billy Joel's Piano Man parody about Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh.
And it worked.
Yeah.
So now he's listened to 2 Weird Al albums.
Oh my gosh. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Right. We'll see.
That's impressive. Yeah.
But yeah, are we gonna watch Maria Bamford?
Yeah, she
that
has a mental health kind of thing, like where
She's trying to answer questions
yeah,
for
like
people.
kind of Dear Abby like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her little thing on there, her description was pretty funny of
Mm-hmm.
like, it's the worst mental health that you can buy is for a comedian to help solve your problems.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's why. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be very curious because Kevin Nealon's a big name.
Yeah.
SNL kind of made a name for himself, I'd be curious to see how much Maria Bamford pulls in as far as people, audience. People know her, but
Even
I don't know.
I want to know how much money Rush Tix made off of that versus
Yeah.
Kevin. Like, what is he getting out of that? 12 grand? Because they've got to make their money.
They do. They got to
Somehow.
take their cut.
But that's just that. That's not the tips.
Right.
But I didn't see a lot of tips rolling
No,
in.
no.
Maybe a couple $100.
Yeah.
Not bad.
10 here.
Well,
2
but you've
there.
already paid to see the thing.
Right.
And it's also kind of a weird thing having the tip function in there, because that's like going to the Funny Bone to see, or even a bigger venue to see somebody like Jim Gaffigan.
Mm-hmm.
So you pay to get in the show. Do you want to tip him?
Like, well, he already has money.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought that, didn't we just do that? Didn't
Yeah.
I give you
money?
quite a bit of money?
Yeah.
See, I wondered places like the Funny Bone. I've heard a lot of comedians shitting on the Funny Bone
Really?
lately, like the fact that there's no green room or anything like
It's
that.
it's a small green room. It's smaller than this room. And that's where we met TJ Miller. So
Yeah.
that was impressive because I learned just like the space of it.
Yeah.
And then sitting, what was it? I think it was for Tom Arnold, where I was sitting in a spot where I could see straight into the green room because there was some staff people that were going in and out.
Yeah.
And then I saw one door open where I'm like, oh, I've been in there, so it's in my mind. And we took a picture with TJ Miller up against the other door. I thought that went straight outside or something like
Seemed
that.
like it might.
But when I was at Tom Arnold, the door opened into the room, and then there was another door that opened, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. That's the hallway that goes to the kitchen. Because
Okay.
people, I've been there or in shows where it looks like they go into the green room,
Yeah.
and then like the audience is kind of filing out, but then all of a sudden they're in the lobby, and it's like, oh, that's that little back hallway that goes around, and then they show up, and I'm like, okay, so that kind of clicked in my head
I wish I would have seen that show.
of
If you-
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
I recorded it. And never mind.
Don't say it.
That's fine.
We're good boys.
It was okay. He did some jokey jokes, and then he kind of went off.
What's a joke?
Well, like
Just traditional jokes.
traditional jokes, and then he did some stories, and then he just kind of went off where it's like, is this funny, or are you just like talking?
Well,
Like,
you said that, and we don't have to get into it because we've talked about it before, and we don't want to be boring. So you had said that it was kind of a split room.
it was. He had a lot of friends and a lot of family. Like, for those of you who've been to the Funny Bone in Des Moines, there are aisles and like up against the wall, and there was just rows of people just standing because he invited so many friends and family that you got to have the seats for the ticket holders,
Right.
But then the friends and family were kind of like lining the walls, and he was picking people out, and that was the cool part. It just seemed like it was a family get together,
Right.
almost. Oh, this guy over
Did
here.
you just do the one show?
He,
did he
I think
do-
he did the one show.
Okay.
Yeah. And
That would
so
explain it.
he
Yeah.
was just like, no, I went to high school with her. Where's your hot sister at? And, just like kind of poke. Oh, yeah. For those of you who don't know, my friend here, he's big into MMA and he's a big Trump supporter. And then he the room was so split because he's a very left, Tom Arnold's very left wing.
Yeah.
And he will make fun of Trump all day. And with Iowa being Iowa, it's kind of split.
Stupid.
So half of the room was reacting. The other half was like, "Ugh."
Reacting the wrong way. Yeah.
So it felt like you're at Thanksgiving and you're like, okay.
I don't need this shit anymore.
But it was fun. That was a good show, and I got to meet him afterwards. And I've always wanted to meet him, and that just happened to work.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh yeah. And then ran into our friends Jonas, and it's his birthday today.
Hey!
Jonas and Jamie. They happened to be in the doorway when we showed up with my friend from work.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to share a table? Like, yeah, sure. And,
Sweet.
And But I just always wanted to meet him and then talk to him, Tom Arnold, about this Chris Farley documentary that he was in that you watched.
That was really good.
Yeah, and he
the one
told-
on
Hulu.
Hulu, yeah.
Yeah. So he talked about that for a little bit for me, and then he signed some stuff, and it was just he was
Did you
really
do a picture?
nice. I did a picture, yeah, and it just kind of didn't really look like him, just the way he was like the lighting and the way his face was. It's like
Yeah.
whatever, but yeah, I was happy to like meet that guy because like he's from Iowa and he's just funny, and it was kind of cool, and so
That
I
is
was
cool.
glad to meet him. And then other people I've talked to in my life, like there was a girl I was dating about that time, and she was actually from Ottumwa. And so I said, "Oh, I just saw Tom Arnold." It's like, "Oh, actually, my friend, what was it? My mom knows Tom Arnold's mom
Okay.
because she ran a daycare." And so, like, "Oh yeah, no, he called the girls once on Thanksgiving, and it was super nice." Like, "Oh wow!" And then my friend Cassie, she lived in Ottumwa, and they went to that daycare that she ran.
Okay.
And met Tom Arnold because he was just visiting mom, and oh hey kids,
Nice.
how you doing? You know, it's like what the heck. And there was like one other story, but like someone was like, "No, yeah, I know him. Like my family knows him." It's like, you know, how cool would that be to be Iowa's boy? I guess.
It's interesting to meet a family member of a celebrity
Yeah.
and see how similar they are. When I was in Iowa City, it was the Hellsberg Diamonds in the big mall there in Coralville. That's where I got Becky's engagement ring. That's where Tom Arnold's brother worked.
Ah, so you're kind of like
Yes.
looking at him.
It was weird. Like, it's just strange. Also, when was it? 2003-ish? I was down in St. Petersburg, right? Is it St. Petersburg, Florida? Is that the name of that town?
Sure, I don't know.
That sounds right. But outside of there, I hope I didn't mess up that town's name. But outside of that town, it's a Caddyshack restaurant. And it's the Murray brothers
Yeah.
that own it. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I saw, I think, two of Bill's brothers
Really?
were there. And I don't think
Wasn't Joel? Because
I
we
don't
saw
think
Joel.
it was Joel.
Yeah.
So obviously that was like
We met him. It was
16 years later.
Yeah.
But that was my first time kind of being around a sibling of a big celebrity. And it's like one of the brothers there looked a lot like Bill.
Like,
Like a lot.
and I know a buddy of mine that met Bill Murray. I'm like, fuck you, because he's into golfing, of course.
Yeah.
And
that's
my-
how we met him?
This
through
friend,
golfing?
sort of. But this friend was actually up with his buddies, and he lives in Minnesota area. And so, what was it? He was just golfing for the day,
Okay.
with his buddies. And then he had heard some rumblings of someone's here or something, you know. And he crossed paths with Bill Murray, came up behind him. So he got his phone out quick and kind of
Yeah.
went like, and got a selfie.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, you could have said hello first, you know? And he was like, he was super nice. And I said hi real quick and he kind of went about his way. But like looking at it online, it was just like, it's exciting to see Bill Murray, but then you're like, you're just pissed off that your friend met Bill Murray.
That is-
you're like, God damn it.
But that is weird, though, right? To not say something and snag a picture.
With Bill
somebody?
Murray, like, yeah, Bill Murray is always on the go.
But he
There's-
seems like he's game as long
He
as
is.
you don't hold him up. Mm-hmm. You know?
And there's I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I think it's on Hulu, but there was a documentary of Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah.
And all the
It was
stories.
like trying to find him
Yeah.
or whatever.
And like,
Yeah.
oh no, there's
You
this
told me
thing.
about it, and then I watched it.
Yeah. Of like, oh no, he just showed up at a bar and started making drinks for everyone. And it's like, oh my God.
This is like the first beer that I've had.
Yeah. Breaking your
Like in
sobriety.
a long, well, not in a long, like if I legit finish this beer, this will be the first beer that I've consumed and finished in years. You look like you just did a chewing tobacco
Yeah.
spit in. That's what you look
Well, there's
like.
get some on the rim right there.
Yeah,
And you just-
just get it all. Get it all. Get it all in there.
I'll make a pipe out of it later.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. So loud.
Sweet home Alabama.
I know, right?
Yeah. What's the smell of this candle?
It's blue.
Dabba D.
Alexa, play Blue by Eiffel 65. Don't disappoint me, Alexa.
Oh,
What? That's a weird version. Alexa, don't do that. That's what? Alexa, stop it.
It's like techno.
Yeah, that wasn't the normal. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. Should we come back?
Let's come back.
Let's come back. Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Good to be back.
we are back. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
sit down. Take a seat.
It's good to. No need.
It's okay.
No need to stand up.
No.
We're just chill here.
Settle into your
I don't know
couch.
why this microphone is still
Well,
here.
you know, it looks kind of like a nice little piece.
It's a dongle. What would you call it?
Sure. Dongle.
This is I don't know what dongle means, but
Audio
that's what it
dome.
made me think about it. Anyway, how does that make you feel, sir?
Right? Feels great.
Excellent.
I'm voting in November. There you go.
Wow.
Yes.
Are we getting into that?
No, not until we have our buddy Tat back on.
I think he knows where we stand.
We know where he stands.
Yeah, that's true. I too will be voting in November, but
Yeah.
probably not for the same person he is. I doubt
I
it.
don't know. I already applied for my absentee ballot.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, I don't know what the polls are going to look like in person this year.
Hmm.
I don't know how many people are kind of hesitant. And I know, like, your neighbor over here
Yeah.
works the polls. And
She's very old.
yeah, I know. She
So
voted
that's impressive.
she voted for Taft, you
Yeah.
know?
Is that a fact?
I don't know.
Is that a real thing?
It could have been someone else.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look at something.
Yeah, so I don't know what it'd be like for the different, I don't know, the people who work the polls to see the crowd difference.
Right.
Of how many people are coming out to actually vote in person
45.
versus
In this town.
45.
Yeah.
That's the name of the president right there.
We're from a small town in Iowa.
Yes. We'll see. We'll say twang. Iowa twang.
You know what's weird? People in southern Iowa actually talk like that.
They do. It is weird.
What the fuck?
I went to, what was it?
I mean, I don't know the reason that I talk the way that I talk. It just
Right.
is what it is.
But it's weird
But I
that
don't
it's like you're
understand.
still in Iowa though.
Yeah.
And typical, I guess, what would you say an Iowan accent is? A lack of accent, maybe? Is the accent? We have the hard
Maybe.
R's.
Do we?
If we have too hard of R's and we're getting into
In what?
Wisconsin,
In like, give me an example of
Your
a hard
little-
R.
rascals, or like, you know,
What?
when you really,
I don't talk like that.
you guys want to get in the car. I don't know, that it gets nasally, it can get hard.
As opposed to the ka.
That's more, yeah, they're right. Or I think we're more flat. Maybe we're more flat. Is that you want to get in the car where it's just kind of, you
I
want
don't-
to get in the car? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I have an accent.
I think the accent is a lack of accent because I've been to London like you have, you know.
Yeah.
And we were asking for directions,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Are you guys from the States?" You were like,
Where is your person from that you're being right now?
From Britain. I don't know. Are you guys?
Hello, governor.
Pretty much. It seemed like it. And it's like, yeah, we just said we're from Chicago.
Okay.
You know, because if we say Ames, they're like, what? If we said Iowa, they'd be, huh? But everyone knew Chicago. So we're like, fuck it, we're from Chicago.
All right. Say something. Say what you said.
So that guy said, like, are you from the States? And-
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a thing.
And
So just say something like you were talking to your dad.
Hey, where's the subway?
Excuse me, governor. Are you from the States?
Yes.
That's what you said to him?
That's
You're
what,
ruining my skit.
I didn't say that to him. But yeah, that guy said, "Are you from the States?"
That's what I was doing.
Yeah,
I was trying to be the guy.
you are the guy. Like cranked up to 10. It's like,
You're breaking the fourth wall.
okay, yeah. Whoops. So that guy was saying, "Oh, I can tell by your accent," and we're like looking at each other like, "What?" It's like, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm using a book for for a coaster.
Coast to
And
book.
it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Child of the Hunt, Christopher Golden, Nancy Holder, some of my favorite people. It looks like Kara started reading it and
Gave
stopped.
up.
Yeah.
Boo. I can never read. Still can't.
Oh, nice. There it is.
Lame.
Still, if
can
you
get-
haven't read it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
There you go.
Child of the Hunt.
In
I was what?
ah,
Okay. I was in London and was hit on because of my accent. And I accept.
yeah.
I was very happy about it.
Like nice.
And then she was like, God, she said something like, God, I love your accent. And I said, no. Your accent is much better than mine.
Ugh.
In a very non coming on to said person way.
Right.
I said, basically, in summary, my accent ain't shit. It's nothing.
That's right. I believe.
Which is how I mean, the grass is always greener
right.
in other countries and their accents.
Even in Greenland.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Even though it's Iceland.
Isn't that, yeah, it's
Iceland.
icy land in Greenland.
That's right.
And in Greenland,
It's
it's icy land. And in Howard the Duck, he calls it Cleveland.
I get it.
Where's my, thank you.
Boom.
It wasn't really a joke, but the button's there. I forget what this one does.
Ah,
I forgot.
the twist.
I forgot that.
But was he really there? Do.
Hey, what are you excited for right now? Anything?
Not particularly. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of content. I don't know.
How about have we heard anything about that Saw movie? Supposed to be coming
Spiral?
out?
No.
Spiral, right.
I don't know.
It's just dead zone. Nobody knows what's happened.
Apparently, Tenet is good, and that's out in theaters. I don't know
I
much
saw
about
that
it.
was out in the theater.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about it.
I remember seeing trailers for it, but again, this was like a year and a half ago that I was seeing maybe even more than that. And it looked good. Was it like parallel timelines?
Could have been.
Or
No idea. I haven't read a description.
Alexa, what's the movie Tenet about?
The Tenant is a 1958 drama.
Alexa,
Fernando
stop talking.
Quit it.
50 drama. Stupid.
Can't trust
She's
Alexa.
such a disappointment. That's not true at all.
Boo.
And first of all, I said movie
Yeah.
Tenet.
Right.
Whatever. I got David Tennant.
Hey,
right
David Tennant. There
I
you
hit
go.
I hit the thing.
Oh,
I hit that. I didn't mean to. That was my bad.
but I don't
We're
know.
professionals.
I didn't read any description. I didn't look up anything.
Yeah.
But everyone's been saying, "Oh my God, so cinematically amazing!" And
Mm-hmm.
New Mutants. That's out.
I heard that
There's-
was a joke.
There's like 3 movies out.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
That's true. I heard that New Mutants was a big disappointment.
Boo.
And is it supposed to be like a branch off of X-Men?
From what I understand,
Okay.
but I don't know. It's just kind of, it's a movie,
Yeah.
I guess. I
I
don't
should
know.
probably move this back if you're so far back.
Boo.
So Tenet. Well, we watched Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
that's
that's actually
good.
going to be uptown here this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody's seen it.
I know, but it's kind of nice to like get the theater experience.
Yeah, not that theater.
Lower back.
Not that
pain.
one. They have seats from the 1920s, I believe.
Historical registry.
Yeah, but some things should stay in history.
I watched. I moved here, moved back to town. 27. Yeah, hold on here. Was it 2017 when Star Wars 7 came out?
Episode 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably around there.
So
16, 17.
I wanted to just kind of see that over and over.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I saw it like 3 times in theaters or something like that. And one of them, like, oh, it's Uptown. Well, Uptown, it's like $3 to see a fucking movie.
Right.
Now it's 5, but whatever. So we go.
Again, small town Iowa.
I know. So I go up there.
Everybody else is like, it's $20 to go
Oh,
see a movie.
Okay. Popcorn, 25.
Right.
Just for the seeds. Then we charge you even more to pop them. Okay.
The heat is extra.
Son of a bitch. So yeah, I went there and there wasn't a whole lot of people. But yeah, that little half chair and
Yeah.
Star Wars is 2.5 hours of
That was rough,
shifting and like.
I forget the last thing that I watched there, but it was not pleasant.
Things to play for me.
I'm on the stage for those, with the exception of the one that I only filmed and I wasn't on stage at all, and in which case I was standing.
We're on a ladder for Mary Poppins
That was stupid.
for rehearsal
That was dumb.
to make a trailer.
I didn't
Trailer
enjoy
was
that.
good, but it was just like, God damn it. We gotta sit there.
It was very uncomfortable when you have no back support whatsoever. These are nice though.
You know
like
what?
this?
Yeah, let's just replace every chair. Yeah.
We should. I think yeah. Yeah. Nope. That's not what I was trying to do. It's not it at all. That's funny. Yeah. I would like to see Tenet. There's a newish show defending Jacob on Apple Plus.
Okay.
I want to watch that. It's got Captain America in it. Chris
Aha,
Evans.
Yes.
Maybe some other people, but he's the big
He's
name.
the draw.
Yeah.
The big draw.
He's my draw. I would like to watch that soon. Whenever I have downtime or if I'm just eating a meal quick, I watch another episode of Community.
Yes.
I'm in the middle of season 3.
Okay.
Becky asked me the other day how many times I've seen that, and it's probably too many.
It's a
But
comfort
It's
thing.
it's just fun.
We're working our way through.
I enjoy it. What the fuck happened to the most recent season of Rick and Morty? They were supposed to release it. You need to know these things. They were supposed to have like 40 plus episodes, I thought, but there's 8 available.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't get it.
Animation's the way to go.
I kind of wish you knew about this so you could have answered my question. What have you been watching?
Parks and Rec.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I haven't been actually it's through my parents. So my parents watch it and I just happen to be in the room.
Okay.
But yeah, it goes along well with what people are saying, where it's, you got to get through about a season and a half
Yeah.
before it gets real good. But Rob Lowe's in it. Aziz
Mm-hmm.
Ansari's like a lot of good people. So the one we were watching tonight before you called was like, it had, who's the guy who played Ant-Man?
Oh, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd was in it. And
Huh.
he was running for city council against Leslie Knope.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there for a second. I'm like, Dad, we have Ant-Man and we have Star-Lord in the same episode. It's
fair.
And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't realize that. That's right. That's right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ant-Man. Do you like those movies?
They're fine. I'm not into them like my brother is. Where he like knows every single detail and the backstory. I'll watch
I
him.
didn't know he was so hardcore.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Is it just Marvel in general?
He loves Marvel, yeah, and like his favorite thing's X-Men, but he knows every goddamn detail, and and his wife does too, But I'll watch him to watch it to say I watched it.
Yeah.
I liked Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
I don't know. There's no part of me that wants to like watch it again. Like I don't know. It's just like. I liked him when it was in the theater.
Yeah.
And you had to shut off your shit and like that's what we're doing. And it's just kind of I don't know, it's difficult because like I enjoy longer movies, but I have the distractions at home. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, that was a great movie, but
Well,
don't
that's one thing that's nice about kids is that you get to go back and rewatch stuff. My
Right.
kids, certain shows or like when they're of a certain age, they can watch the shit out of like Disney Junior
Yeah.
or something like that. But they don't, and maybe this is something that we were just forced into, but we had to like if you had a movie that you really liked, you maybe had, let's talk about like when I would go and visit my grandma's house, my great grandma's house. And I had like 10 movies there that I could watch. And that's it.
Yeah. You built your own library.
But now in the same house, my great aunt lived there as well. And she would buy me shit like every Nintendo that ever came out. So I had other things to do, but even as a kid, you can get burnt out on playing video games.
Right.
Because you didn't. And that was another thing. Like, yeah, now I have a Super Nintendo, but I have 2 games. So if I'm bored with one, I have the other one. And if I'm bored with that, then I guess I'm watching Batman again.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was one of my go-tos was Batman 89
Yeah.
with Keaton.
I'm like, oh my
That,
God.
that was one of my movies that I would I put
Yeah.
in and rewatch over and over.
It was different.
But kids today don't have that problem, which worries me because I'm wondering, like, I'm showing them these really cool movies. Or like even recently, we watched The Umbrella Academy.
yeah.
We watched, I had watched season 1 originally back in the day, and I liked it, and I got to see that it's more or less suitable enough for my kids. I don't recommend it for all kids. My kids, they've seen some shit, and I knew that my kids could handle it just fine.
Right.
And so now that the second season came out, we watched all of season 1 together and then season 2. Now, let's say if they were to stop there, with how much content is out there, I don't know that they would ever think to even watch it again.
Right.
There's no rewatching of shit. Like Sam, we watched, the whole family watched it, but he really loved it. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Yeah.
We watched the new movie with Jim Carrey and what's his name? Cyclops? Scott?
yeah,
Scott Masterson?
Yeah.
What's
that sounds
his-
about right.
Is that right?
Scott something.
Scott.
Baio.
No.
No, it's not.
Scott. Alexa, who was in the movie Sonic the Hedgehog?
The cast of Sonic the Hedgehog includes Ben Schwartz,
Okay.
James Marsden,
James Marsden is who I was talking about.
Tulsa Rothwell,
Masterson.
Yeah.
The fuck am I talking about? Alexa, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of course.
I don't know if kids are gonna like what?
Cyclops' name is Scott.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
a fucking idiot.
That's right. You're
That's
right.
what it was.
Yeah, there's the details.
It was Scott.
That's right. That's right. James.
Wow.
And then-
Anyway, so what I'm saying is that I don't know if my kids are gonna have go-to movies that they just want to watch
it's more disposable.
because it takes them back to a certain time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Netflix can. I don't know. Maybe
Or is it up to us to force that upon them?
There's that.
Like, hey, if you like this movie, this one is accessible to
there's
you.
that, but I think it's more disposable these days because there's so much content. Maybe Netflix can come out with a Netflix retro in like 10 years, and then bring back like
Dude,
just
if it's Netflix retro in 10 years,
And just
you know how
have-
sad that's going to fucking
that
make us?
that would be. But you know, it would be.
It's
like,
going to be like retro 2005.
right. But I mean,
2010
like
shit.
for your kids though.
That's
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
But if there needs to be decree. There needs to be a new word that's not retro.
Yeah.
Retro
Nostalgia
needs to I think retro has to belong to the 80s.
or nostalgic.
That's
or,
fine, but was retro ever used for like 50s and 60s?
Vintage was used for 70s.
See? And maybe even
Kinda.
before that.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay? I'm claiming retro
For 80s.
for our generation.
Okay.
For 80s and 90s.
That makes a lot
retro.
more sense. And now it's like, I don't think kids really get, I don't know. We have to tell them, like, we had these things called reruns where we planned
rerun?
Yeah, it's brand new.
Thank you for.
Come on. Yes.
I'm glad you got that.
But like, yeah, I mean, like we had to plan. I thought about this today. It's like when we got off school,
Right.
we always knew what was on TV.
Yeah.
Every night. It was,
Yeah.
because it was the same schedule of like, okay, well, I know at 4:00 it's going to be this, and then 4:30 is going to be Jeopardy, and then 5:00 is going to be Simpsons,
Right.
or whatever it might be. And you'd plug in, Simpsons is going to be on, and then you get the whole opening, and then you're like, fuck, I've seen this one before. All right,
Yeah.
I'll watch it again, and you just watch it again and deal with it. Instead, kids would just be like, I've already seen it, and move on to the next thing. I don't know.
I've seen this one.
I would love to see how many people, I don't know. It'd be fun to see high school kids or maybe
Yeah.
even middle school kids. How many of those kids, what's the overlap that
Yeah,
they're into
right.
the same show? Because like we only had so many shows, and most of the time you watched it or you didn't, and that's okay.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that.
You watched it or you didn't. And it would be really cool to see if we had how many kids are watching kind of the same shows and how many kids are watching a show that they've never heard of,
Right.
because they have some other streaming platform over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just fascinates me that TV and consumption has
They're
changed.
not even. Nobody fucking watches TV anymore, which I'm fine with.
It's like the news.
So you don't
but
even think about reruns.
It's news, football. I kind of forgot what's just on regular TV.
Ah, Joe, I hate football so much.
Well, yeah, but that's all the live stuff. People tune in for live stuff. But like, I don't know. Like, they just got rid of Supernatural. I don't know what the
That's
hell.
what they're like. We're getting rid of you.
Yeah,
It
it's
was like
like
17 years. I think
But that's
it
the
was
thing.
good.
It's like that's what I know in my head.
Right.
I don't know what's new
Right.
anymore. Like, Cops is canceled.
Well, some of the stuff
Like-
that you think is new, then you hear, nah, that's on its like 7th season.
Like, what? Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens? Like even with stuff that's on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
like, Jesus, that's been on for 5 years?
Yeah. Like the start of like even Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Was like that blew up, but it was impressive.
I'm excited for the next
It was
season
just
of that.
impressive. Now you look back, like that was 4 fucking years ago.
That was kind of our me and Kara, my oldest daughter. That's our show that
Yeah.
we like to watch. I think Becky started watching it with us too. She's getting there was progress today, Joe.
Yes.
We were watching Community at lunch,
Ah.
which is my breakfast.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
Normal.
And she laughed at my show.
What?
She got the humor. Progress.
Progress. Moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
That's good. That's good.
We're doing good.
Yeah. Okay.
The marriage grew stronger today.
There you go. Community.
Because-
Community.
Community. Thank
Here you go. Bring it together.
I
There
know.
you go.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I felt good about it.
Yeah, man. It's just like I'm amazed at how much shit blow. I've been watching that Netflix is actually advertising. I go over to our friends Lars and Veronica to go watch Big Brother. It's still a thing.
Which is weird. But
still a show.
I
That's
get
okay.
it.
I haven't made it through a whole season, and this is my opportunity
I don't want to.
because having cancer forces me to have a schedule that is just 8 to 5, like so like I can actually make it through this season.
Yeah.
It's the most boring season because it's all stars and it's people who have been on the show before, but they all have like kids and spouses.
Yeah, you
so
said
it's like,
you said they're not doing it.
they're not doing it, and it's just like I haven't really
Wasn't
watched
Big Brother the one that had After Dark?
Yeah,
Was that on like
circumstances you'd have to go?
Showtime or
Yeah, you'd have to
something?
go to cable because it was just on regular channel.
because would it like actually show stuff?
That part I don't know how much
Okay.
of it they would show.
All right.
But you could, Lars is really into it, and he'll be like, "Oh, I already know what challenge that they're doing," because they always have like the head of household challenge
Okay.
that they got to do, and so he's like, "Yeah, well, according to all sometimes they black it out just so they can save it for the time slot."
Yeah.
That certain kind of things. But he always reads into it and knows kind of what's unfolding, and it's kind of cool.
How do you think you'd do in Big Brother?
That's the thing is I don't know how to. You would have to like read through the lines of everyone.
Right.
You know, that's what they're saying. But would they really?
You got to be shady as hell.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Right?
It's like they play this game, and you
But
start
you can't be too shady because then America hates you.
right. There's two alliances that are always formed.
Yeah.
You know, and then they have people who are kind of like moles. And then, of course, the fun part is that you have the head of household and all the other challenges that help break what's going on.
Right.
So there's an element of surprise. But I don't know how well I do. I can't lie for the fucking life of me. But I just have to win it by honesty. It's like, hey, here's the deal. You're just a bitch. No. Quit. Okay.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you're gonna have to give me the highlights when things are done.
Yeah. So I don't know how I do, but I love every single year they go into that house or the studio. It's a studio.
Yeah.
You can Google it, and it's kind of bizarre to see. It's on a back lot.
Really?
And
It's not
is.
an actual house.
It's not an actual
because
house.
MTV, the real world,
Yeah.
they would like the one that started all of this, everything terrible in the world.
Yeah.
In reality TV, I believe that was in an actual place.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But now they've got the whole, like, everywhere you go is cameras everywhere so they can see your every move. I don't think it used to be that
Right.
way. I think it used to be like legit camera crews following you around everywhere.
Right. So this one, I got curious as to like what it looked like or how they filmed it, because
Yeah.
you come out of the house and you're voted off, then you're in a studio where the audience is.
Yeah.
With Julie Chen. So I'm like, this doesn't add up. So I Googled it, and it's the back lot of whatever studios it is in California.
Yeah.
And then you can see, because the backyard has like a canopy over it. So
Mm-hmm.
they can kind of pull the canopy, and they can, you know, if it's a sunny day out, they can kind of pull it out. And you can see the Big Brother backyard on it.
Oh.
And you can kind of guess, I can kind of see where, you know, that
That's
can kind of be.
funny.
But like, I don't know. It's fun to see the style and the look of every season of Big Brother, because they always have something kind of cool, like a focal point of like, look at this big table, look at this cool design, or every single bedroom looks fucking cool. I'm like, God damn it, why
They
can't
each have their own style.
Yeah, I was like, come do my house.
Now,
Like,
you watched at least part of The Circle on Netflix.
Yeah,
right?
that one was
Did you finish it?
not all the way. It was a couple.
But
short.
how much does that parallel Big Brother?
It
but
was
everybody's
like
separate. I
Secret
guess, in
Big
that
Brother.
one. Yeah.
It was like Secret Big Brother.
Okay.
And
You had to guess what the other person was actually like in real life, as
They-
opposed to
yeah.
being able to see them every day.
because they could be themselves, or you could be someone else and fake it,
Right.
And get people to do that, and then vote someone off. And
Yeah.
that one was bizarre. But you and I talked about this detail because they had like computers or like monitors,
Right.
and people would be like, I don't know, circle. You know, send message to Tiffany. Hey girl, I like you. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But then like,
What would you have done if it showed up on that?
well, that's the
screen
thing.
just
We
now?
talked about the detail of like, oh yeah, that would be funny. But like, we talked about the detail of like how the punctuation was always perfect, and I'm like, how's that? Someone has to be sitting there with the earpiece.
Right. No, it's
You know.
it's completely fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that part was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Who's the producer? That's like, okay,
Yeah. Somebody is clearly typing that up
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yeah. You know.
100%.
So that was kind of it's. Yeah, I think it's pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Secret Big Brother, I guess. But yeah, they just, I don't know. That one was a bizarre one because they just chatted, and then
Yeah.
you'd have to vote, and then they
But
would,
then you would have like separate group chats away
Yeah.
from other people, but you would have dudes pretending that they're chicks and chicks pretending that they're dudes, and
Yeah.
and it was weird.
it was a little bit weird, but
Yeah.
it worked. I don't know. And then each,
I think it went pretty well. The after show, once you find out everything, was weird. It felt strange and forced, and I don't know. It just had like a weird vibe.
that
to it.
one was cool though, that show, because they were clearly in a hotel of some sort.
Yeah.
So each room, each layout was the same.
Right.
But each decorative it was just different. This one's a
They
jungle.
had their own themes.
This
yeah.
one's a beach. This one,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just kind of you could fit it in your head of like what they're doing.
And which theme should we go for with this room?
Because
Because this is not done.
No, it's not.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, signature room.
It's a work in progress. Well, at least I got shit on the walls for this.
Yeah, that's
Right?
I'm
I'm thinking red.
red. Do it.
You think so?
Red. At least
Well,
they
not all red, but enough.
could- bloody
Hey, guess what?
chicken butt.
Also that. Are you done?
I'm pretty much down here.
All right, finish it. Same time. Come on. Don't be weird.
There we go.
Oh, nailed it. We're done.
I like it.
We're out of time.
Boom.
We're out of time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for listening.
We'll,
Garbage TV.
Garbage TV episode.
Trash TV. We got to get more into that. I don't
There's
know.
plenty more to
that's-
talk about in that department.
That's all I watch anymore.
We will talk to everybody soon.
Oh, thanks for listening.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.